where we'll see which conference reigns supreme today. It's the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Browns under the lights on Sunday night.
Well, a steady rain has been falling here, but it has not dampened the spirits of the hardy folks at Huntington Bank Field here in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
The veteran Dustin Hopkins has this one teed up, and we are underway here in Cleveland. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels and picking up some.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Maurice Hurst able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. To the air goes Daniels. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now that he get to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Daniels looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Daniels. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards there on a Washington first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Throwing now is Daniels. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. So nothing doing there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Up the middle with Eckler. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Throw out wide is incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
York able to send this one through, and the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Davis now. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Davis. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
In motion, the tight end. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This will complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And that's incomplete. The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like
a
that
really
one.
good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing.
I
love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On the give, this is Eckler. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field. So he's looking for anyone to throw the football to. But he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it. But he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And it's fielded at the 34. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 9. Off play action. Davis. This will be caught. Judy. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Davis. This is the tight end, the Joker. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run with Chubb. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw. Davis. And he'll just get rid of it. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. An early decision point here, Charles. Maybe one we'll look back on later. They go on 4th and goal, and they punch it in for the touchdown.
We always talk about how football is a game of confidence, and that's how you get it right there. Leave your offense out there and tell them, I believe in you. And they pay it off with 6 points.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Washington ready to try again on offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Now Daniels. That's complete as he goes right back to Crowder. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Looking to throw. Daniels. Crowder's got it over the middle. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here's Davis, throwing to start the drive. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got the size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Davis, no gain on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
3rd and 2. Operating from the gun. Davis over the middle, complete to Judy. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
2nd and 7. Chubb running to the wide side. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Davis from the gun on 3rd down.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland.
Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. It's Eckler again, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
It was 3rd and long, so he had to figure that the defense would be coming with extra pressure. Found a way to get away. He couldn't see the imaginary yellow line on the field, but he knew exactly where it was and found his way there for a 1st down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Throwing the out route, and Crowder makes the catch.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Eckler diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they?
Now Cade York for the extra point.
And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 42-yard line. A give running right is Chubb.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. All tied up at 10, 2 minutes left in the first half. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
Open man, he completes it to Judy.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Browns have taken the lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17 to 10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Daniels. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
This one caught by Crowder, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
1 second, all that remains.
Davis now. A final shot before break. He's going to look deep for more. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Browns offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Throwing to start the drive. Davis muscles him off. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Davis to the right side, and he's got more complete. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From just shy of midfield, Davis. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Shelling through the defense. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Moore, the motion man right. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Chubb.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Davis.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Elijah Moore.
36 yards.
And the Browns are able to stretch out their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, and they stick with Eckler.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Running on first down, Eckler. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Once more, here's Eckler. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
The handoff, it's Eckler. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now a give running left is Eckler. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So no gain on the play, and that'll set up 2nd and goal.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On the option, here's Eckler.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Dancing to his... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
York able to send this one through.
And that will close the gap down to 14.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Davis now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Back to throw now on first down. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw. Davis.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line.
The Washington offense set to take over again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 23, here's 2nd and a couple. They go play action. Daniels.
And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
To the air goes Daniels. He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Daniels going to throw for it.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And this Browns defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe it's something they can build on as this game continues.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Now Daniels.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
Daniels looking to throw.
And Thomas has it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
To throw is Daniels. Targets the sideline here. Crowder has it.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Daniels.
That's complete as he goes right back to Crowder. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And the Browns are going to get this thing back Excellent field position. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that fourth down.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd down and 8. Here's Chubb on the read option.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And out of bounds right around the 20. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A give. This is Chubb. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
68 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's 2nd and 3.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line down at the 2. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.